Hey guys, it's me, Custard3, and we are doing some more baking today. Today, at the request of my mother, we are making a Boston cream pie. I have never made one before, much less tasted one, so this is gonna be a new experience. I am going to be using my stand mixer though, because, well, I paid for it, and basically everyone else has used it more than I have, so I intend to change that. Anyways, even though this is a pie, it's a cake. It's a cake, but it's called a pie. So that means we need to start by making the cake. So in our bowl, we need to cream together 1/3 cup of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Get our paddle attachment on here and let her go. Normally for a recipe like this, you'd cream the butter and sugar together. That way you get little air pockets, but I digress. It has to do it this way. We're doing it this way. Next, I want us to combine the dry ingredients into a bowl, which that includes 1 1/4 cups of sifted all-purpose flour. Oh, unsifted. It's unsifted, sassies. Why do you get this? Who freaking writes a recipe like that? Unsifted. 1 1/2 teaspoons baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Now we got this together, we are going to mix it in, alternating between the dry and 3/4 cup of milk. So we're just gonna do dry, wet, dry, wet, dry, because that's how I see other people do it. So I have a greased and lined 9-inch cake pan here, and the recipe calls to just grease and flour it, but we have parchment paper, so I don't know. I've never seen the point of greasing and flouring something, but that's just me. And this is going into a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, or until a cake tester comes out clean. Our next step is the custard filling. And while this has a perfectly fine recipe right here, I have made custard from this book before, and this custard is so freaking good. And it's almost the same. There's just a few ingredient changes, so I'm gonna do that. And yes, I made cinnamon swirl bread this morning. So anyways, to make this custard, we need to start off with mixing together 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup cornstarch, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix it together until it's smooth. You do not want any lumps in this, because you do not want a lumpy custard. And then we are going to take 4 egg yolks, and we are going to lightly beat them before adding them to our other mixture. And then you just want to mix it together until this forms a semi-smooth paste. Maybe use a spoon instead of a whisk, because this is thick. But make sure it is all nice and evenly incorporated. This is one way to help ensure that your custard does not have any lumps. We are now going to add 2 cups of scalded milk, but we are going to add it very slowly while mixing the entire time, because if you don't, the hot milk will cook the egg yolks and you will end up with lumps. Also, I think our cakes are done, so this is a very bad time for me to be doing this. Okay, yeah, the cake is done. The cake is done. There we go. There's our cake. I need to set it on a wire rack to cool, but first I need to get the rest of this milk in. And that is all of the milk. And now comes the annoying part of making a custard, and why I did this in metal. We have to cook this over a double boiler until it becomes nice and thick. We have to cook this for 5 minutes, stirring constantly on high heat, and then reduce the heat and stir it for an additional 10 minutes until it becomes a nice, thick custard. It's starting to thicken. Oh God. It's okay, it's just water. The water got a little hot. It's okay. It didn't say how low to reduce the heat, it just said reduce heat. Okay, I think this custard is done. It is, oh God, look how thick it's getting. Okay, time to get it off the heat. Off the heat. Okay, this thickened up a lot quicker than I remember. It's like hollandaise. It's runny 1 second, next second it's paste. Okay, next we need to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Let the butter be soft, and you have to do this while it's hot so that way it melts in. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Maybe a spoon was the best thing throughout. Just maybe don't use a whisk with this. My instinct is to use a whisk, maybe don't. This makes more than we're gonna need for the cake, or the pie. It's a pie. And now for the last part of our Boston cream pie, and that is, of course, the chocolate glaze. So, for that, we are going to start off with 2 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of water. And now the instructions say to heat this until it comes to a full boil, which, considering how little water there is, that shouldn't take too long. Oh gosh, that did not take long. The butter's not even fully melted. Okay, the instructions say as soon as it starts boiling, to immediately, no hesitation, mix in 3 tablespoons of cocoa. I need to turn this heat off or else this is gonna burn. This is gonna burn so unbelievably fast. Oh gosh, it's lumpy. It says use a whisk if necessary, but the only whisk I have that's clean is this one. And now to this, we are going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla and 1 cup of powdered sugar. Now we're just supposed to mix this all up until it becomes nice and smooth. Yeah, this is a pretty thick chocolate glaze. I think it should be a little thinner, but wouldn't it be bad if I add just a small splash of water to this? Just the tiniest little splorch. Yeah, that's better. That's more of the glaze we want. And now we have our main 3 components of a Boston cream pie together. We have to assemble. So, now this cake is pretty flat, and frankly it's a little oily too. It got really crisp around the edges. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, but we need to cut it in half. I saw a trick on how to do this. We're gonna have to, brain's working, hold on. I set this on top of here with that, no, it's not tall enough. Add another cake tin on, no, that'd be too wobbly. Just set it like that, then like that, and then maybe I can use you're supposed to use the glasses. It's like this knife isn't long enough. I just went through all of that for nothing. Okay, well now I get to do this the old-fashioned fun way, which is just, actually the side of the plate should be a good leveler. I know it's very, very tricky to do and get right, so I'm just hoping that I do this correctly. All right, now I have to lift this off without it falling apart. Whew. Ah! I did it! Pour a generous amount in the middle. Is that enough custard? Maybe a little more. Just a little bit more. Like I said, we made more than we need. And then we're gonna top this back up with the cake. This has only been sitting here for 2 minutes. How have you already started to set up? Little water. Okay, it's running again. It's running again. There's so little here, it sets up so fast. Drizzle some around the cake. Get another drip out over the edge, because this drip over here, look at that. Ain't that nice? Let me get another drip. Yeah, another drip. Oh, yes. That is a Boston cream pie. Oh my god, it's so heavy. For real though, Boston cream pie is a dessert that is served cold. So into the fridge it goes. At least until my taste testers come home, because I can't eat it. I'm allergic to milk. Yay, allergies. My taste tester has arrived. Go ahead and cut it.
It's delicious. I can smell the chocolate.
Well, yeah, it's covered in chocolate. It'd be weird if you couldn't smell it.
It smells wonderful.
Ooh. Yeah, the custard's really yellow. Now, I don't know how the cake will turn out because it seems really, really buttery.
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Is it better than the one you made before?
I could never make one. It was the custard. I could never master the custard. It's really good. I'm gonna need another slice here. This is really good. This is awesome. This is like what my grandma would make, and that I could never duplicate her recipe.
Well, I found that the book, I think it's a reprint, but it was apparently a print from 1985. So that might explain why it's something like your grandma would make. That might explain all the Jell-O recipes.
That's one thing I don't miss from my childhood is Jell-O. But I did miss this. I haven't had one of these in 25 years.
Oh my goodness.
This is delicious. Thank you. As you see, I'm ready for my second and third helping.
There haven't been any cats in this video, so
That's what you look like after you haven't had Boston cream pie for a long time. You just give up on life.
Yeah, I suppose it's a success. You're gonna make yourself sick because custard's so sweet.
This doesn't taste sweet. It doesn't taste like sickening sweet or anything.
Really?
It's just enough chocolate to be chocolate, but it's not
It's not like overpoweringly sweet.
It's not like a wedding cake where they've got an inch of frosting on it. Oh, this is just good.
Okay, well save me enough so I can get a thumbnail picture. So I guess it was a success. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one later.